The late afternoon sun hung low over Grayson, Montana, on a frigid November day in 2024, painting the snow-dusted streets with a golden hue that faded into the lengthening shadows. The small town thrummed with the quiet rhythm of everyday life, the air crisp with the scent of pine from the rugged Bitterroot Mountains, and the warm, spiced aroma of apple cider wafting from Millie's Diner on Main Street. Pickup trucks lined the road, their tailgates down as locals, bundled in thick coats, strung up red, white, and blue banners for the upcoming Veterans Day parade, a tradition steeped in history and marked by the distant clang of the old church bell. The sound mingled with the excited shouts of kids racing home from school, their scarves trailing like banners in the wind, their boots crunching on the frost-covered sidewalks. Inside Carter's auto showroom, a gleaming glass fortress of new cars, polished floors reflected the sparkle of overhead chandeliers, while a flat-screen TV looped ads for the latest Ford F-150 and Chevy Silverado, their engines roaring in the background audio. Neon signs blinked dreams on wheels above the entrance, drawing in dreamers and deal-makers alike. It was a typical day in this tight-knit community, until a young man stepped into the cold, his breath fogging in the biting air. Ethan Carter, a 22-year-old with dark tousled hair and calloused hands, stood outside the showroom, sweat beading on his forehead despite the chill. His yellow windbreaker was damp from a grueling day of deliveries, a helmet tucked under his arm, and a heavy delivery bag slung over his shoulder, its straps digging into his skin. His hazel eyes flickered with a quiet anxiety as he checked his smartphone, the delivery app ticking down with ruthless precision. For the past 30 minutes, he'd been waiting. The order: smoky barbecue ribs, seasoned fries, and a side of coleslaw. Still not ready. The delay gnawed at him, each passing second a threat to his livelihood. Inside, the receptionist, Jake Rollins, a lanky 19-year-old with a bored smirk and a faded polo shirt, leaned back in his chair. "Take it easy, man. It's not ready yet. Chill out." Ethan's heart pounded in his chest. He knew the customer would be furious, the rating would tank, and the company might dock his already meager pay. With gas prices soaring to $4 a gallon and every dollar stretched thin, the stakes felt personal, a weight pressing down on his shoulders. His family's struggle fueled his urgency. His mom, Grace Carter, 50, battled stage 3 breast cancer at home, her frail frame weakening with each chemo session, the medical bills piling up like snowdrifts. His dad, Lucas Carter, a 58-year-old ex-Marine with gray eyes clouded by combat scars and a limp from a knee injury sustained in Afghanistan, sat on a nearby bench, watching his son with a mix of pride and worry. Lucas's faded denim jacket, patched at the elbows, and worn jeans told of decades on a failing cattle ranch. His cane, a relic carved from an old oak branch, his only support after the land turned barren. Ethan's 24-year-old sister, Mia Carter, a part-time nurse's aide, had moved back home to help, her gentle hands often the only comfort for Grace. The family savings were nearly gone, and Ethan's delivery job was their lifeline. Finally, the order arrived, the tray warm in his hands, and he grabbed his bike, pedaling into the dusk with a determined grit. The address led to Oakwood Estates, a sprawling, gated community on the town's outskirts, a world apart from the Carters' modest trailer. The posh neighborhood, with its manicured lawns and towering pines, felt alien to Ethan, who'd grown up herding cattle under a relentless sun. Navigating with Google Maps, he reached the guardhouse, where a stern older man with a gray mustache and a navy blue uniform waved him through after a curt exchange. Climbing the stairs to the third floor of a sleek apartment building, his legs burning from the day's work, he rang the bell. The door swung open, revealing Victor Hayes, a 35-year-old manager at a multinational tech firm, his hair neatly styled with gel, dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, an Apple Watch glinting on his wrist. His cologne filled the air, a stark contrast to Ethan's sweat-soaked jacket. Victor's voice boomed, cutting through the silence like a thunderclap. "You're 40 minutes late. What kind of pathetic service is this? Ringing my bell like a maniac." Ethan took a deep breath, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. "Sir, the kitchen was slammed. I got here as fast as I could." Victor's face twisted with disdain, his lips curling into a sneer. "Excuses? You delivery clowns just chase cash. Service means squat. Get out of my sight." He snatched the tray, shoving Ethan's shoulder with a force that sent him staggering. The young man's helmet clattered to the marble floor, his bike wobbling against the wall, the delivery bag slipping slightly. Balcony onlookers, neighbors in plush robes, peered down, their faces a mix of curiosity and indifference, silent as statues. Victor slammed the door, the sound echoing in Ethan's ears. He picked up his helmet, shoulders slumped, no tears but a deep sting searing his chest. Something inside him shattered, perhaps a piece of his self-worth, as he descended the stairs, pausing by his bike to stare at a one-star rating on his phone. "Am I that worthless?" he muttered, the words tasting bitter. Glancing at his lock screen, Grace, frail but smiling, her fight his anchor. He steeled himself. He donned his helmet and rode off, the cold wind biting his face, his mind a storm of resolve. That night, a security guard at Oakwood Estates uploaded the CCTV footage to Instagram Reels, the clip igniting a firestorm with number Montana hero. The video, Victor's shove, Ethan's stumble, his quiet retreat, spread like wildfire, drawing a flood of comments. "This is our real hero. Give him respect. Thank God he's okay. Where's humanity gone?" By midnight, the story hit local news channels, outrage rippling through Grayson and beyond. Victor's company, Tech Trend Solutions, suspended him pending investigation, issuing a statement. "We deplore this behavior. Respecting every individual is our core value." At home, Victor paced his luxury apartment, glass of whiskey in hand, scoffing. "A delivery kid costing me my job? People are blowing this out of proportion." But the backlash was unrelenting. "He's not some nobody. He braves snow and traffic for us while we sit comfy." Unaware of the storm, Ethan delivered another order that evening, his legs aching, his mind numb. A customer, a middle-aged woman with a kind smile, grinned. "Hey, you're that viral guy." She showed him the video on her phone, and Ethan froze, his eyes welling up. He'd just been working, for Grace's Meds, not fame. An NGO called that night, their voice warm. "We want to support you, man. Your spirit can't break." Ethan replied softly, "I didn't do much. Just took it for a bigger cause." The next morning, social media crowned him silent hero, sparking a fundraiser, a new bike, medical aid for Grace, even a GoFundMe pushing past $10,000. His story transcended a single event, becoming a symbol of resilience, shared across Montana and beyond. Meanwhile, Victor faced a reckoning. Neighbors shunned him, their whispers like knives. Kids pointed and giggled with hate. Watching a hospital video of Grace, frail in a gown, saying, "My son's a delivery boy to the world, an angel to me," Victor broke down, tears streaking his face. "What kind of man am I?" he whispered, the weight of his actions crashing down. That evening, he contacted a journalist from KMMT News, his voice trembling. "I need to apologize to Ethan publicly. I was wrong." The next day's headline blared, "Victor Hayes apologizes to delivery boy. I'm ashamed." The journalist asked Ethan, "Will you meet him?" After a long pause, Ethan said, "If he's genuine, yes, but no revenge." I just want peace. Their meeting unfolded in Grayson Park, a serene spot with snow-dusted benches and towering pines. Media kept at a distance with a single camera capturing the moment. Victor, in a simple sweater instead of his suit, reached to touch Ethan's feet, a traditional gesture of apology. Ethan stopped him, hands folded, his voice firm yet kind. "Sir, mistakes happen. Learning's what makes us human." Victor's eyes filled, his voice cracking. "You taught me a lesson I'll carry forever." Ethan smiled. "My mom says, the lower you fall, the higher you rise. Maybe I'm on that path." That encounter transformed them. Victor shed his arrogance. Ethan reclaimed his pride. The video of their reconciliation went viral, racking up millions of views, comments pouring in. This is what healing looks like. Weeks later, Grace's treatment at a private cancer center in Missoula showed promise. "You're out of danger thanks to your son," doctor said, their words of balm to the family. She kissed Ethan's forehead, her voice weak but warm. "I shaped a diamond, but your pain was unseen. God's will brought this light." Ethan still delivered, now with a new bike, its engine purring smoothly, roads less daunting. Strangers nodded, guards saluted. Customers said, "We're proud of you, kid." One day Zomato called, "We want you as our brand ambassador for a video campaign." Stunned by cameras, lights, and a director's chair, Ethan became a beacon for millions. His silence roared louder than words, a testament to resilience. But the story deepened. Victor, rebuilding his life, started a nonprofit, Respect Rides, offering free delivery gear, helmets, jackets, gloves, to workers like Ethan, a quiet amends for his past. He approached Ethan one afternoon at Millie's Diner, sliding a check for $5,000 across the table. "For your mom's care," he said, head bowed. Ethan accepted, nodding. "Thanks, man. Let's make this right together." The community rallied, hosting a fundraiser at the church hall, the potluck tables groaning with pies and casseroles, the proceeds swelling Grace's medical fund to $50,000. Mia, now a full-time nurse, smiled through tears. "You did this, Ethan." One snowy evening, Ethan stood on his porch, watching Grace recover inside. Her laughter a rare melody, Lucas steadier on his cane, carving a new walking stick with renewed purpose. A tear fell, not of weakness, but triumph, as he whispered to the starlit sky, "This is just the start." Victor joined the NGO's board, his redemption a public journey. Months later, Ethan's ambassador campaign launched, a 2-minute ad titled "Ride with Respect," airing during the Super Bowl, racking up 10 million views. A young boy at a delivery stop asked, "Mr. Carter, how'd you do it?" Ethan knelt, his eyes soft. "Hard work and heart, kid. You've got it too." The crowd at a community rally cheered, Grace wiping a tear, Lucas steady beside her. Sometimes one act of resilience can lift 1,000 souls. Will you be the next to rise?